people have a parent that's going into care. It's very stressful, as we know. It's very expensive, as we've discussed. There's also a lot of pressure around that financial side of things, and a lot of people think, I can't afford this, I'm going to have to sell the home, the family home, the parents' home. So have you got thoughts around that?
Yeah, definitely. You know, selling the house may have to be the option, because if that's all they have. But there's certainly, the urgency is not as great as people think.
Okay.
There are ways, and a lot of the providers will defer, what they call deferred paying the interest until the house is sold,
okay,
for up to 6 months and beyond, you know, with an arrangement. They may insist on taking out a caveat, but, you know, that's not, you know, expensive, and it's just on the promise that the house will eventually be sold, and you know, some contribution will be made towards the room. But yeah, as far as Centrelink's concerned, the family home, if someone is on Centrelink, the family home is exempt for 2 years.
Okay.
So that gives people a lot of, you
breathing
know, I can
space.
relax, you know, I don't have to. And look, in most cases, the house isn't ready for sale.
That's
You
true.
know, potentially it could take months to even get it ready for sale. And even if there's a buyer today, you know, the process of selling it, the paperwork and the legal implications could be 2 months. So how do you finance those months, or sometimes years, you know, 12 months or more? And not everyone's got a bucket of cash and their home that they can just buy whatever, you know, the rack rate is for the room. So it's really important, I suppose, not to panic, not to think I've got to give my house away at you know, for a fire sale. I can, you know, get it ready with the advice of obviously an agent like yourself, how to prepare it for sale to get the best value for the best price for that home. And you know, and what arrangements can we make with the provider to defer paying any interest if they haven't got any other funds to do that.
That's great to hear, because I do see a lot of people that do panic, and so it's nice to know you've got some breathing space. So
you can take a breath to say, well, okay, because it's overwhelming, and one, it's emotional, putting your loved one into care, that's hard enough to deal with, and then you've got to face, what are we going to do with the house?
Yes.
You know, do we have to sell it? Sometimes it's a family home, and maybe mum is not ready to part with it either, or dad. So, you know, you've got to, I suppose, step back a little and think of what the person that's going, the resident's going through, to say, well, you're putting me into care and now you're selling the home.
Yes.
You know, I think as much of the decision making by the family member going into care as possible, because it's, you know, if they're capable.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you for your advice. I think everybody would like to know they've got some extra time up their sleeve, so I really appreciate that. And if you need any expert advice, particularly in aged care, you must come down and see Dianne in Meadow at Chalk Financial.